Ramallah, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas' Fatah faction on Saturday, December 16, called for a massive demonstration next week to protest against a visit to Jerusalem by U.S. Vice President Mike Pence, after Washington said it would recognize the Holy City as Israel's capital. Breaking with decades of U.S. policy, President Donald Trump also said on December 6 that he would move the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. In New York, Egypt on Saturday circulated a draft resolution that would affirm that any change to the status of Jerusalem has no legal effect and must be rescinded. Diplomats said the council could vote on the proposal as early as Monday, with the United States expected to use its veto power to block it, but with most, if not all, of the 14 other council members backing the measure. Trump's declaration has stirred global condemnation and sparked angry protests across Arab and Muslim countries, as well as deadly clashes in the occupied territories between Palestinians and Israeli forces. It also prompted Abbas to cancel a meeting with Pence, who arrives Wednesday in Jerusalem, and warned that Washington no longer had a role to play in the Palestinian-Israeli peace process. We call for angry protests at the entrances to Jerusalem and in its old city to coincide with the visit on Wednesday of U.S. Vice President Mike Pence and to protest against Trump's decision, Fatah said in a statement. The status of Jerusalem is one of the most controversial issues in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Israel seized control of the eastern part of the city in the 1967 Middle East War and seized the whole of Jerusalem as its undivided capital. The Palestinians view the East as the capital of their future state. The call to protest came as thousands of Palestinians took part in funerals for 4 men killed Friday in clashes with Israeli forces during protests in the West Bank and in the Gaza Strip. Mourners chanted anti-Trump slogans and masked men fired into the air during one of the ceremonies in the village of Beit Eula in the occupied West Bank. Funerals were also held for the 2 other Palestinians killed by Israeli forces in Gaza, where the enclave's Islamist Hamas rulers had on Friday called for a day of rage. One of those killed was Ibrahim Abu Thuraya, a Palestinian who lost his legs in an Israeli attack a decade ago. With his wheelchair, he was a regular feature at protests along Gaza's border with Israel. Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh attended Abu Thuraya's funeral in a refugee camp west of Gaza City. Friday's deaths brought to 8 the number of Palestinians killed in violence or air strikes since Trump's Jerusalem move, and hundreds have been wounded. Western Wall Row Pence will no longer see Palestinian officials during his visit to the region after they, as well as Egyptian Muslim and Christian religious leaders, cancelled meetings in protest at the embassy move. We understand that the Palestinians may need a bit of a cooling-off period, that's fine, a senior White House official said Friday. We will be ready when the Palestinians are ready to re-engage.